China has banned the sale of critical minerals used to make semiconductors. But this is not the worst thing they've ever banned. Recently, they also banned Halloween costumes. Here is Chinese Batman being more badass than the real one. They also banned time travel, at least in movies. No more watching Back to the Future, which is the worst human rights violation you can inflict. They also banned Winnie the Pooh because of the memes comparing him to the Chinese president. Here he is with Obama and with Japan's president. Finally, porn has been banned in China for a long time. In fact, if you make or sell it, you can be sentenced to life imprisonment. However, it seems certain people have been using a fruit loophole to still make porn. So now they have banned eating bananas in a sexual manner. Banned. Toys are supposed to be fun, not try to kill you. Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Laboratory was sold in the early 1950s and contained 4 samples of uranium-bearing ore. You know, the kind that is radioactive and gives you cancer. It also came with a Geiger counter, so you could see how fast it was killing you. It was discovered that these aquedots that kids could make sculptures from were very dangerous if swallowed. Several kids were found unconscious because once you ate them, the dots broke down into the drug GHB, also known as the date rape drug. Roller skating Barbie was actually kind of cool. You skated her across a hard surface and she shot out sparks. Sadly, if you skated across something flammable, it burst into flames. The kite tube looks like it was super fun. That is until it started causing broken vertebrae, ruptured eardrums, and punctured lungs. 3 people were killed over a 4-month period. The Snack Time Cabbage Patch doll, or the Cannibal Cabbage Patch doll as it was called, came with fake food that it could chew and swallow. Unfortunately, it couldn't tell the difference between plastic food and a child's finger or hair. There was no off switch, so several girls had their hair pulled out of their scalp. Finally, this Harry Potter vibrating broomstick was a big hit with young girls and their mothers, before it was pulled by repressed Mattel. I love this mom's review. I'm 32 and enjoy riding the broom as much as my 12-year-old and 7-year-old.
It's not just a broomstick, Harry. It's a Nimbus 2000.
Banned. Everybody's heard the urban legend that there is a penis on the cover of the original Little Mermaid VHS. The rest of the story is that the artist had been fired by Disney, and as a parting gift, he left this dong on King Triton's castle. Now, usually these stories end up being a big disappointment, but in this case, it really does look like a penis. So much so that Disney put this cover in the vault and replaced it with a new one. To buy the VHS with the original cover, the price ranges from a couple bucks to $10,000. Don't buy the $10,000 one. Disney actually got sued for a different penis incident in Little Mermaid. In several frames of the movie, it appears that the priest has a boner. Disney quickly explained that was actually his knee, but they cut out the frames just to be safe. As for the penis spire on the castle, the artist posted online saying that it is definitely not a schlong. In fact, he didn't even work for Disney. He worked for a company hired by Disney, and even after the whole controversy, he still wasn't fired. The cover had been a last-minute rush job, and he worked on the castle last, around 3 o'clock in the morning. So at best, he subconsciously drew a penis. Banned. Considering what has made it on TV lately, a brother and sister having sex, heads getting bashed in with baseball bats, and Trump in bed with Satan, it is hard to believe there are television episodes that are actually being banned.
Hey, Satan!
This episode of Fear Factor had twins chugging donkey piss and, well, donkey something else. Use your imagination. All for a chance to win a measly $50,000. Joe Rogan said it was the worst thing he ever had to watch. Even the cameraman started puking. The episode never aired, and the show was canceled soon after. On the other end of the dial, Sesame Street had the actual Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh, curses!
The episode so terrified kids that the station was overwhelmed with letters and calls from angry parents. Their children could not get to sleep. Sesame pulled it. Finally, the Home episode of The X-Files freaked out a lot of people. It was banned after one airing. Home opens with 3 deformed brothers burying a deformed baby alive. It goes downhill from there and ends with Mulder and Scully finding an amputated mother hidden under a bed. She's been having babies with their sons. Ugh. Interesting that in a world of Flukeman, Leonard the parasitic twin, and Leonard Betts, the human monsters are the scariest.
She's their mother.
And the first ever found footage film, Cannibal Holocaust, is the most banned horror film of all time. The slaughter of animals it contains is real and very disturbing. It includes a turtle, the pig, and a monkey. The slaughter of humans is not real, but it certainly looks like it. 10 days after the movie premiered in Milan, the film was seized and the director was arrested and charged with obscenity. He was later charged with murdering several actors on camera and faced life imprisonment. The cast had signed contracts requiring them to disappear for a year after shooting to maintain the illusion that they had died. The director quickly contacted them, and when the actors appeared in court alive and well, the murder charges were dropped. The director was also cross-examined about the iconic poster image for the film, which shows a native girl impaled on a stick. He explained that the girl had sat on a bicycle seat attached to the pole's base while holding a small pointed piece of wood in her mouth. Then they added lots of fake blood. Cannibal Holocaust was the second highest grossing film in Japan when it came out, second only to E.T. Banned. Adam West was banned from Aspen, Colorado for 15 years for having sex with too many women there. To be fair, it was the 60s and he was freaking Batman. He dated the hottest actresses of the time, including Raquel Welch and both Natalie Wood and her sister Lana Wood, though not at the same time. He would sleep with up to 8 women a day. West would arrive on set at 7:45 so that he could have sex in his trailer before he started, and during his breaks he would have quickies, but it was difficult because he couldn't take off the suit. He recounted one story where he and his co-star Frank Gorshin, who played Riddler, ended up in an orgy, and he started doing the Batman voice and Gorshin started doing the Riddler. Neither of them would break character, and they were eventually kicked out of the orgy. Banned.
I still remember my first lifetime banning.
Oh!
And that's all there is.
Hey, where's my melon?
to know about bands.